All rise. Hear ye, hear ye. Hamblen County Commission meeting is now in session. The Honorable Chris Cutchaw presiding. Please remain standing.
Thank you, Harley. We're here now to conduct business at the Hamblen County Legislative Body for our regular scheduled meeting here this November the 16th, 2023. Thank y'all for being here, and I will lead us in prayer as we begin. Before I do, just to say this season of to be thankful, I'm grateful for all that God has provided for us, and that is my personal belief. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve, but also there's many things in our lives that we can all be grateful for, and I ask that, maybe you set aside a little personal time to do so. So let us pray. Father God, we do thank you for this day. We thank you for life. It's easy to say that, but thank you, God, for all that you've given us. So much opportunity in our lives to serve and to see and to be a part of, to help others. God, thank you. And I ask you, as the book of Romans tells us, to renew our minds, to look forward, God, and get beyond the crust of ugliness and evilness. To get beyond that, God, and reach to you and thanking you for all that you've given us, for it's your Son, Jesus, that provided this path for us. We're grateful for that. Thank you for all that you've given us in these things. And God, I ask that you be with this body tonight as we take up this business and present it before you, God, that it may be worthy. Thank you for all you've given us. In this time of season, this Thanksgiving, we ask that you be with our families to touch each one. It's in Jesus' name that I pray. Amen.
Amen. Place the flag, please. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Commissioners, please turn your mics on. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please. Mr. Reed seems to be absent.
We have 13 present.
Okay, we have 13 present, and we are ready to go. Item 1, we do not have any recognitions tonight. We'll go right to item 2, public comments. 3 minutes per speaker. Yes, thank you, Commissioner Walker. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll move right into our public comment section. Item 2A, regarding general non-agenda items. The first speaker shall be Dan Pellegrin.
Thank you, Commissioners. All right, I'll pass this.
Sure.
I'm back to talk about the noise ordinance again, so I didn't let up. Just let you know. As you see, as you all get it, this is the 911 calls made for porting in the county of Hamblen. And I color-coded everything so you can see the people that had complained in those 5.5 months. And you see there's multiple days. I only highlighted the ones that were separate days or multiple days. But as you can see, there is an issue in Hamblen County with partying, because that's all I basically asked them for. And as you can see, the one actually for the barn is still in there. That's the blue one. That is under the name of Gary Holt Enterprises. That's the red barn. But you can see all the other issues that people have for multiple days, multiple problems with it. And the last page you see with the picture, that's because I went through every one of these are highlighted. So I kind of learned Hamblen County pretty good riding around. But as you can see, there is an issue in this county. So now I'm not fighting for just my neighbors. I'm fighting for all my neighbors in the county now. And the picture on the last one, you can see the one on the left, it's actually open. That's the one from 3 Springs Road. I'm not sure who's familiar with that, but and you can't tell by the picture, but they had all the lights on the, hanging from this place, and I mean, the whatever you want to talk about, hanging down and all that. So evidently it must be outdoor partying that they had done at that time. As you see, it's multiple days they had that. And I'm sorry, I forgot what the other barn was. I don't remember. I didn't write it down when I took the pictures, but it was somewhere that's highlighted. So I just want to let you know. And you notice, even the one that you'll talk about the beer permit that y'all gave in 2005 to Hookers and Hunters Campground Beach Shop was down here too on the first page at 1:25 in the morning. So they had an issue with them also. But that's all I wanted to bring up. That we still need to work on getting an ordinance over there because it's getting worse from multiple people, and we need to do something. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Noy?
Linda Noe, 2343 Joe Stevens Road. I'd like to talk about rules and actually the codification.
This is non-agenda items.
Codification
It
of your
is
rules.
non-agenda items only. Rules is on our
Not the
agenda.
codification.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't
Yes, ma'am.
start this.
Yes, ma'am. You are,
No.
this is non-agenda items, and you're more than welcome to speak to that in agenda. But currently, we are
The
discussing.
rules that are on the
Yes, ma'am.
agenda
We
are about the
We
power
are
of the
working
of
on
the chair.
non-agenda items, and you may continue with non-agenda items.
I am continuing on a non-agenda item codification of your rules.
No, ma'am, you are not. You may sit down or you may move to the next section. We will not discuss rules. We will not discuss rules at this point of the meeting.
I am
Ma'am,
not
I'm asking
discussing
you-
what's on the agenda. I am
Rules.
on that
Rules.
next.
Rules. That's all there is to it. It's rules, and it is on our agenda. You can bring that up in our next part.
No,
Yes, ma'am.
no, go on and take me out. This is just unbelievable.
No, ma'am, you have the opportunity in the next section to say what you want. This is non-agenda items. Please stand down or move on. You have your opportunity when this section is through.
My opportunity is to talk about
No, ma'am,
agenda item
you are
11.
taking up our time. It is not allowed at this point. This is non-agenda items.
I'm going to go on because
No, you
you're
are not
using
going
up
on.
my time.
You are not going on.
You
are
make it
not
impossible
going on.
to
Ma'am, you are
find
out of
the
order.
rules.
You are out of order. You
You
are
make
out
it
of order.
impossible to find your rules.
You are out of order.
And we've asked multiple
Listen,
times that you
Please
do like the
shut
city
the mic down, please.
and the state.
Shut the mic down.
And
Shut
put
the
your-
mic down.
Oh,
Shut the
boy.
mic off. She is out of order. She is out of order.
Whoa. When did you get the power to cut the mic?
Because you are out of order, ma'am. This is not correct. You are not going to make a mockery of our rules that we do have in this body, and we've already voted on them. You're out of order. You're speaking on agenda item in the wrong part. All we're
Steve
asking,
Smith is the one that you all said you would tape the meeting from start to end with
I didn't
no
say- I didn't say-
exceptions. And you have just broken your own
no, ma'am,
rule.
I did not say stop the tape. I said cut the mic, because you are out of order, and you are out of order.
So we'll have to read your lips.
You're out of order. Time is up. Let's move on. Let's see. Is there anyone else
Putting
that
the
would
mic
like
back
to?
on?
Is there anyone else that would like to speak?
you putting the
to-
mic back
The
on?
mic is on. Yes, ma'am. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to non-agenda items? Seeing none? Yes, ma'am. You did not sign up. Please state your name and address.
I will.
Yes, ma'am.
Gwen Holden, 8150 West Point Drive. You know what? It wouldn't do no good to get up here and speak anyway. Just pay your taxes and keep your mouth shut. That's what you want. And that's what people do. It's supposed to be freedom of speech. Smart. For everybody. Black, white, don't make no difference. There's no freedom of speech in this. I feel sorry for you.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to non-agenda items? We'll move to section 2B. That will be regarding agenda items. Mr. Pellegrin, you're first.
Thank you again, Commissioners. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I got to get on record, I guess, about the beer permit that we voted on today. I'm not for or against it, but I just want to speak about the application itself. That whatever it is, it needs to be looked at and modified and certain things. 'Cause that's where I got the 2,000-foot rule from schools and everything else that was in the application. It's also in there about the 300 feet from a home they can do it. So you need to look at it if we're going to follow it, because I don't want to come, because I'll be looking, if I see another beer permit that's still got in there, I'm gonna come over here and talk about it again. So somebody needs to look at that and change it and correct it if we're not going to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Noy, you're recognized.
Linda Noe, 2343 Joe Stevens Road. I'm going to talk about all kinds of rules, not just the rules that are on your agenda. But regarding the rules on your agenda, number 11, giving essentially your chairman, who has shown what he will do when he has complete authority, you're going to give him complete authority to decide or make decisions of order, just like he did when he just now had the person taping the meeting cut the mic so that no one could hear what was being said, a violation of your own rules. On the number 11, you're giving him the power to make decisions of order without any appeal. Robert's rules and other rules provide for a commissioner may appeal the ruling of the chair. When you take that out, you are giving one person dictatorial authority to make decisions. You're letting him prepare agendas for meetings. What about who gets to put the items on the agenda? Is again the chair the total authority for committee agendas and commission agendas with no input from commissioners unless they're proposing something he likes? And then appointment of committees, you're giving him total power over that. The other item to talk about on rules is the fact that you can't find the rules for Hamblen County. It's very difficult. This past week, I went down to the county clerk's office, and I'm having to pull books apart, find something, get a copy, put it back, go through the index trying to find something. And before I've been able to do it online because there is a search engine, but it doesn't work. So no wonder you don't know the rules. Nobody knows the rules. And nobody will make a move to put the rules in a book like the city does. They have a city code, zoning, you name it. Hamblen County, it's in a bunch of books down in the county clerk's office, and very few people can find it. Codify your rules.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there anyone else that would like to address this commission? Before we go any further, clarification. I said, cut the mic. The mic cannot be cut. It's only right there. Just for clarification. She was out of order. Tried to handle that easily, but it did not work. So the next thing, folks, we're working on rules to codify them. Seems like everything she fusses about, we're working on already. But we are codifying our rules. That's the whole point of working forward in this. Robert's Rules of Order is our business. We try our best. If there's anything out of order, this chair recognizes. He accepts. I'm just saying, it's not me. Let's move forward. Item 4, Calendar and Rules Committee Chairman. Back to item 3, nominations and appointment to the Morristown Hamblen Solid Waste Board. Let me go to that, please. So the mayor sent a recommendation for Tom Rush to be reappointed to another 3-year term on the Solid Waste Board expiring October 31st, 2026. He is currently serving as chairman of the Solid Waste Board and has provided excellent leadership for that group. And he has indicated he is willing to serve another term. Do I have a motion?
Motion approved, Mr.
We
Chairman.
have a motion.
Second.
And we have a second from Commissioner Long. Is that on the board? I'm sorry. It's on the board.
Don't see it.
Oh, but it's not on the board, so
It's not on the board.
there we go.
Okay, good. Good.
All right, Stan's got the second on it. It's all right. He hit the button. All right, any discussion on this appointment? Commissioner Green, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no objection to Mr. Rush's continued service on the solid waste, but I do have concerns that the mayor and the commission are still not keeping current with solid waste board appointments. As many will recall, there was a sweeping appointment of 4 members to the solid waste board in 2014 because the Mayor Britton and Mayor Perky and commission made no appointments or reappointments for over 4 years, just letting people continue to serve by inaction of the mayor and commission. Because of my concerns on the solid waste board and all appointments to boards and commissions, I recently asked the mayor for information on the most recent appointments of the current 4 members of the solid waste board and the planning commission and their expiration date. I received that information just a few hours before this meeting. I've reviewed it and I still have concerns that the mayor and or commission are failing to timely appoint solid waste board members. I will vote for Mr. Rush, but I will never vote again for a solid waste appointment unless and until this commission has obtained and posted on the county website the names of each solid waste board member, the date of each member's initial appointment and reappointment, if any, and the date that the current term expires. And this goes for appointments to Planning Commission, Joint Economic Community Development, E91.
Chairman, I think we're out of order here.
I am speaking. Can I please have my 10 minutes?
We're here to vote on this, not to grandstand and read a letter wrote to somebody else.
I think he asked for discussion, sir. So I will continue with the chairman's permission, of course.
Please continue.
Thank you.
You are reading a letter, though. and
I am reading what I wrote out because I would not miss anything.
Okay, please hurry.
She did
Yes,
not
sir.
write.
I
she did
certainly
not
will.
write that.
All names of current members of boards and commissions appointed by the mayor or county commission should be on our website, like the city does, along with the date each term expires. It is time for this commission to establish an orderly and transparent process for appointments. I asked that question because I did not know. I got to looking at what the city had, and it was there. We need to be more for our citizens to be able to find it without having to dig for it. In my email to you as well as the mayor, I asked for additional information. I'm not trying to grandstand. If it's not brought up, you don't know.
Did you receive your information?
I received it about 2 hours before I left.
Yes, ma'am. Did you realize that it was in the book, in our book
I
this
did
month?
not.
Yes, ma'am.
I did not.
I could tell by your email that you didn't know the information was in our packet.
But I
So-
did know as well as when their appointment dates and their expirations were, and all citizens should
Did you
have
get
the right to
did you
vote.
get your information?
I
It
did.
is public knowledge, it is there, it can be had, and yes, we're working on certain things to have them put in print. This is all in process, ma'am.
Well, we need to update it.
Again, we've talked about this,
Yes,
that
sir.
we are working on this, but obviously, we're not on your time frame. We're working on it.
Well, I apologize if I offended you by the
No,
time
you haven't
frame,
offended me,
but-
it's just taking up the body's time when we've already discussed these items to put them in a book. Yes, ma'am.
Well, we don't have everything there. I was
I
searching
agree.
for some
I agree.
previous.
May we move on now? We have discussion. Is there any more discussion on this item? Let's take a vote, please.
Thirteen yeas, 0 nays.
This motion passes. We'll now move to item 4, Calendar and Rules Committee Chairman Thomas Doty, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Have item 4A, the approval of the consent calendar items, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, let's vote the motion, please.
13 yeas, 0 nays.
That motion passes.
Have item 4B, the approval of the regular calendar items, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, let's vote the motion, please.
Thirteen yeas, 0 nays.
This motion passes.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman Doty. On calendar rules, we'll move to item 5, which we have none. Item 6, the approval of the consent calendar. I need a motion.
So moved.
We have a motion. Tim Horner. And we have a second. Is there any discussion on our consent? Hearing none, let's vote this motion, please.
Thirteen yeas, 0 nays.
And this motion passes. We will now recess as the Hamblen County Legislative Body and convene as the Hamblen County Beer Board. Taking up item A, beer permit for Lindsay Danielle Maury Klein, Michael's Pizza Cottage, 7248 Andrew Johnson Highway, Talbot, Tennessee, 37877. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Long, you're recognized.
I think after research that the mayor done, that in our rules for the 2,000 feet or whatever it was, we also discovered, excuse me, that Douglas Cherokee was not a school. It is not ranked as a school, so I would put a motion on the floor that we approve.
Well, we need to discuss, and then we'll get to that in just a moment. Discussion as a beer board. Anyone else? Could I impose upon our county attorney, please, to update us on the discovery of what you discovered, so all could be on board with what we're looking at?
Well, Mr. Cutshall, the situation is really kind of the same as we discussed in committee. I know people were not here, but we no longer have a 2,000-foot rule. We don't have any foot rule, and that's because we have issued the beer permit to Lookington Hunter, which is basically directly adjacent to the park. And that's not the only violation we have in the county, but that's the most egregious. And there are ways to reinstitute a foot rule, but it would require that permit to no longer exist for some reason. Because that is basically a zero lot line issue. We visited this issue several years ago, and Mayor Britton and I together, got all of that information together, talked with CTAS. The law has not changed since that time. We would possibly like to, for it to have changed, but it hasn't. And we're still bound by what we've done in the past. The 2000, any distance rule at all is going to be pretty much inapplicable to our permit application.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody, any other questions about it, please?
Yes, Commissioner Howell.
Yes, sir, thank you. Do we have in Hamblen County, oh my goodness, it's 11 o'clock, we're closing down. Do we have any of that?
I'm not aware of any.
Okay, for businesses?
For businesses that sell beer,
Yes, sir.
we have some guidelines about that,
Okay.
I think, but I can't say with any.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Long?
Am I correct, Mayor, the city doesn't have any kind of footage?
No, they don't.
Anyone else? Seeing none, we will now reconvene. We'll close that, the beer board, and we'll reconvene as the Hamblen County Legislative Body and take up item 8A, beer permit for Lindsay Danielle Maury Klein of Michael's Pizza Cottage, 7248 West Andrew Johnson Highway, Talbot, Tennessee, 37877. We need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. Is there any discussion on this vote? Commissioner Green, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman Cutshaw. In the October 21st meeting, the commission asked the attorney to research this. We should have had that information before we came to this meeting tonight. I realized with the billing for October that he did bill Hamblen County for researching. I don't know about the rest of you, but I would have loved to have had it and reviewed it way before this meeting came about, so if I had other questions, I could get answers. So someone has dropped the ball somewhere. I would like to see us get more information in full beforehand, especially if the county citizens have been billed for it. I don't intend to make a decision when I don't have all the information. I want to do my job, and as I know you do too. You told me it was an honor to serve, and I feel the same way. But I feel like I need the information, sir, to make the best decision for all concerned.
I'll remind you, you have your vote. I'm sorry you didn't get it in a timely manner, okay?
Can we do anything about that?
Well, yes, please.
We discussed this at committees.
Yes, I agree.
We discussed
I
this
agree.
specifically in committees.
Absolutely.
That's when the information was shared was 10 days ago. So you had the information 10 days before this vote.
We did not have what CTAS gave. We did not have a copy of
You
the
had
2000 rule.
you had a verbal report from me and the attorney on committee day.
I don't think it was covered well, and that's just my opinion, sir.
It's your opinion.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Are you clear?
As far as I'm going to be, sir, yes.
I'll let you speak knowing what the mayor just said.
Yes, sir. Thank
Anyone
you.
else? Let's take this vote, please.
Yea, 3 nay.
This motion passes. We'll now move to our Finance Committee. Chairman Bobby Hahn, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. Item 9A, State Route 160. I put that in form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Okay.
Mayor, did you have something?
Just want if the motion to be, I guess, worded that give the county mayor the authority to sign the letter to go to TDOT.
Sure. I
Ma-
thought that
making
was
commitment.
understood. Okay, yeah.
Okay, hold on just a second. So we have a motion, we have a second. Someone please amend this motion.
I'll make a motion to amend.
We have a motion to amend. How do we state that?
The mayor has the authority to sign the letter.
There we go. You got that? Excuse me. We'll do the amendment off the board, and the amendment is that the mayor has the authority to sign, since it's not on our agenda per se. We have a second to that amendment. Commissioner Richardson motion, Commissioner Doty second to this amendment. Let's vote this motion to amend off the board, please.
Debbie Ahern. Yes. Chris Cutshaw.
Aye.
Thomas Doty.
Yes.
Edna Green.
No.
Stan Harville.
Yes.
Bobby Hahn.
Aye.
Tim Horner.
Yes.
Joe Huntsman.
Yes.
Peggy Howe.
Yes.
Rodney Long.
Yes.
Mike Richardson.
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith.
No.
Kyle Walker.
Yes.
And that motion to amend has passed. It is now attached to our original motion, and we have a motion by Commissioner Hahn, second by Commissioner Walker. Mr. Neesmith, you're recognized.
I just made a no vote. This is about getting Bill okay for the money, but I vote no on that whole project. If this commission, a lot of you never get on 160, and I've talked to Stan and Bobby, it is a big cluster. I don't know if you saw the pictures or not, but if you were at West High School, it might take a few minutes, okay? If you're at West High School and you want to go up Sulphur Springs Road, you can't turn left anymore. You've got to go right. Then you got, in your right-hand lane, which is not a lane there, it's 2 lanes of traffic, it's not a right-hand lane. You got to get all the way over to your left-hand lane, because if you want to go back the other way, you've got to turn a U-turn on Sulphur Springs Road and go back the other way. It's the same thing as Martin Luther Boulevard is. And if you're at Sulphur Springs coming out from Gwen Holden's house, you pull up that intersection, you want to go to the west end of town, you can't do it. You can't turn left. In order for you to turn left, you got to turn right, go up to the other Sulphur Springs Road, go across 2 lanes of traffic, plus people turning to the right, and get in that lane and go to the west end. It's the biggest mess I've ever seen. It's the same thing with Martin Luther Boulevard. It's identical, the same thing. And I don't know why, but I think they made a motion or something that you could put red lights at 25, which you can, which they need. But this Martin Luther Boulevard is a far more dangerous than Highway 25 is, and we're gonna have red lights there. We need to just put a halt on this thing and get this thing worked out right, because when you've got to go left, you can't go left, you got to go right and go back and turn to your left and then come back and turn left again. You're just going to have to cut trucks and cars going both ways in between Martin Luther Boulevard and Sulphur Springs Road. It's a bad design. It is bad, and everybody I've talked to agrees on it, but I don't know what you can do. What can the state do? It's going to take them a while to do it. But these J-turns aren't the greatest thing in the world. That's my thoughts on it. That's why I voted no. That's why I'll vote no on the other one too, when it comes up.
Thank you, Commissioner Neesmith.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Doty, you recognize, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a point of clarification, if I could, County Mayor. The decision about the traffic light versus the J-turn, that was a decision made by the state, if I'm correct, sir. And this is a state highway, so they have basically the last word in decision-making on traffic signals and such as that.
With local input, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Okay, let's vote the amended motion for State Route 160. Let's vote this motion.
10 yeas, 3 nays.
This motion passes.
Excuse me. Item 9B1, Fund 101, Property Assessor's Office Reappraisal Program, $800. I make that motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, let's vote the motion, please. Commissioner Neesmith?
Yeas, 0 nays.
This motion passes.
Item 9B2, Fund 101, Sheriff's Department, $800. I make that motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, let's vote this motion, please. Commissioner Green?
Thank you, sir. Sorry.
13 yeas, 0 nays.
This motion passes.
That'll have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Hahn. We'll now move into item 10, Public Services Committee Chairman Mike Richardson. You are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 10A, approval of the 2024 regularly scheduled meetings of the Hamblen County Commission and committees. I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, let's vote the motion, please.
Yeas, 0 nays.
This motion passes.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. We will now move into item 11, the Rules Review Committee. Chairman Bobby Hahn, you are recognized.
Okay. Item 11A1, the duties and responsibilities of the chair. Item 1 is the chair shall preside over the meetings in accordance with commission rules. In the absence of the chair pro temp or vice chair shall preside. We want to do this as a lot, right?
How do you have it on just one item? Okay, these are, it's, you can read them all there, Chairman Hahn, and it'll be voted on as a whole.
Thank you. Item 2, the chair shall preserve order and decorum, decide questions of order. 3, the chair shall provide in monitoring the meeting, accepting motions that are in order and accepting seconds to the motion, at which the chair shall state the motion so that debate may begin on said motion. 4, the chair shall prepare the agenda for the commission and committee meetings. 5, the chair shall appoint leadership and memberships to each and all committees. 6, the chair shall create, form committees or subcommittees as needed. And I put this in a form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Now, we have discussion already. Commissioner Doty, you're recognized. Oh, I'm sorry. It is first. Yes, Commissioner Green, you're recognized.
Thank you, sir. In all fairness to all commissioners, it would be more fair to us if you would take those one by one and give us the chance to discuss it, sir.
It's open for discussion right now. You can go down your list. It's
Okay.
open for discussion.
All
Each and
right.
every item.
All right, we can go ahead and do that. Number 2, I'd like to make an emotion, amend his emotion to the point that we should not have a dictator, but that we have someone willing to
A
work
point of
with
order,
us.
Mr. Chairman.
That's out of order, Commissioner. I'm not a dictator. This body is ruled by a chair, and each commissioner has a voice, and it's unnecessary verbiage.
Well, we do need to work together.
Yes, ma'am.
But I would like to see
Yes,
the
ma'am.
words.
Listen, 1 second, please.
Yes, sir. Please,
Please back up and retract dictator. There is not a dictator here.
That is a matter of opinion, sir, so no, sir, I will not
All right.
retract.
Will you continue, but lightly, please?
Yes, sir. I'd like to have it state, amend the motion to state that the chair shall decide the questions of order, but I'd like to see it added to it that the decision made by the chair on questions of order may be challenged by any commissioner, and a full vote of the commission will be taken to decide the question of order for number 2, though. For number 4,
May I hold you up just a second, please?
Yes, sir.
If you'd
Thank
like
you.
to do this, you're saying amendments, so take them one by one and make your amendment if you like, and we'll take them up as we go.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Because you're throwing out all this, and it's not gonna work that way.
Well, I understand, but the way you left it, that's what I thought you wanted, so I
No,
apologize that I
ma'am.
misunderstood
If you need to
you.
make an amendment, make them one at a time, please.
Okay. Well, I'd like to see number 2 amended, that any decision made by the chair on the questions of order may be challenged by any commissioner, and a vote of the full commission will be taken to decide the question of order, sir.
We have a motion to amend. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Now, we will take up discussion, and I will remind the body that Robert's Rules of Order are always in place, and we have that already in place. Commissioner Doty?
Just to clarify, that was brought up in committee meeting as well, and it was stated there specifically that any motion or decision, declaratory statement of order by the chair can be challenged by any commissioner. And then a full vote of the commission will determine the answer to that. That was discussed 10 days ago.
But it needs to be in the,
You're out of order right there,
yes,
please.
sir, thank you. Sorry, sir.
But that's already in there.
Commissioner Ahern?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but because my memory is not always good, did we not already discuss all these at committee?
Yes, ma'am.
Thought so, thank you.
Commissioner Neesmith, you're recognized.
I'm looking at all that, but I'm looking at number 4.
Commissioner Neesmith, hold on one second. We're working on an amendment that Commissioner Green has just brought up to the floor.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I'll hold up just a
Okay.
second. Any more discussion on her amendment? And second by Commissioner Howell. Please restate your amendment, please.
I'd like to have the motion amended to reflect that any decision made by the chair on questions of order may be challenged by any commissioner, and a vote of the full commission will be taken to decide the question of order.
There's the motion. We have a second. We have a motion and a second. Let's vote this amendment, please.
Debbie Ahern,
I have a question.
Yes,
Haven't we already done this?
we have. I'm allowing her to do her amendments.
So-
What we've done, Commissioner Ahern, we've already stated that these are in place by Robert's Rules of Order, and as Chairman Doty, or Commissioner Doty just stated, that any commissioner can challenge the rule of the chair, and we take a vote. It's already in place, but she insists on going outside of Robert's rules and doing this, so it's your decision.
Well, if I understand correctly, we've already voted the way it's stated, correct?
No, we haven't taken a motion or a vote on this
Voted in
particular
in
amendment.
committee.
That's correct.
Yes. So, what we're saying is that we have that already in place.
We have it already in place, so I don't need to change anything.
Yes, yes.
Correct. I'm just asking the question so I can clarify my answer.
Okay.
No, I don't want to change anything.
Yes.
Chris Cutchaw,
No?
Thomas Doty,
No.
Edna Green,
Yes.
Stan Harville,
No.
Bobby Hahn,
Nay.
Tim Horner,
No.
Joe Huntsman,
No.
Peggy Howe,
Yes.
Rodney Long,
No.
Mike Richardson,
No.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Kyle Walker.
No.
It's 11 and 10 to 3.
And that motion to amend fails. Continue, please. Did you have another item that you needed to discuss?
Number 4, if you please.
All right, go to number 4. Chairman Neesmith, or Commissioner Neesmith will recognize him.
Question on number 4, the chair prepare the agenda for county commission meetings. Can a county commissioner get something on the agenda?
Yes, sir.
How do we go about getting something on the agenda? We
I'll-
see you.
Yes,
If you don't want to put it on there, it won't be on there.
that has potential for the moment. It may depend on where we're at. I can't answer that at the moment. It could be, can't answer that. We're not going to take up a vote on something unnecessary, no. Take the body's time can't do that. Is that all you got, Mr. Neesmith?
That's all I had.
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure we could get something on the agenda.
Yes, sir, you can. Commissioner Doty?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Another point of clarification, I thought we already had it discussed, but if there's something that, my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, if there's something that a specific commissioner wants on the agenda, then they have a right during the specific or the correct, or however you want to phrase it, segment of the meeting, that they can make motion to such, and with a second, it will be voted on by the entire commission and be on the agenda at that point. That is my understanding of it. It needs to be done in committee meetings so that it can come to it, but we can discuss things at the commission meeting as well, but during a specific part of the segment. If it's finance, as you go into finance, then you would bring up a motion, make said motion, and with a second, then it would be a vote of the entire commission to put it on the agenda.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. That is exactly what we're saying as you bring it to committee. Commissioner Green, you're recognized.
I don't think.
Well, I mean, you've got the
Yes,
button.
sir.
I'm trying to
Yes,
go
sir.
by the button.
Yes, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir. At the point that it becomes allowable, I'd like to amend the motion, but please tell me when it's,
Amend the motion
amend number 4
Okay, we're in
to
discussion.
reflect a different language,
All right,
sir.
well, as soon as we get to Mr. Neesmith, we'll do it.
Yes, sir. Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
Mr.
It is
Neesmith.
appreciated.
If I remember right, Thomas, if the commissioners can bring it up, but it's got to be passed by 2/3 majority vote.
To add to the agenda.
To add to the agenda, so it ain't no free ride. You don't, if I want to put something on there, there ain't no guarantee it's going on there. Commission got to vote, 2/3 majority vote.
Yes.
That would be on commission day. However, during committees, it's by a simple majority. Okay?
That's all I had.
Yes, ma'am.
You're ready for me, sir? Thank you, sir. Thank you for the reminder, sir. I would like to amend number 4 to state, to add the following language, that at the request of any member of the commission to place an item of concern on the committee agenda shall be honored by the chair. And yes, I know what you do now, but we are setting rules for future chairmen, I'm assuming by what I've heard. And if I'm wrong, now would be a good time for you to correct me, sir.
We have a motion on the floor to amend number 4. Do we have a second?
No, explain that again.
May I read it again, sir, please?
Ma'am.
To change number 4 to the effect that at the request of any member of the commission, an item of concern can be placed on the committee agenda and shall be honored by the chair. In other words, any commissioner can put anything on the agenda.
And currently, we have that opportunity.
With the
in
2/3
place.
on commission and.
On commission day.
Meeting and a half, okay.
Majority
We got it.
on committee day. As we've stated in the past, each commissioner has a voice, has a vote, they can bring it up. They may not be on that committee at that moment, but, they can lobby for someone to bring it up. So, we do have these items in place. We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second to amend number 4? Motion to amend fails for lack of a second. Any other discussion?
Number 5.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to amend number 5 to say by making appointments to leadership and membership to each and all committees, the chair shall ensure that every commissioner appointed to either the Finance Committee or Public Services Committee.
We have a motion to amend number 5 on the floor. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
We have a second. Now, is there any discussion to amend number 5? The chair shall appoint leadership and membership to each and all committees. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Doty?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is something that's been ongoing for many, many, many decades. Many past chairmen have done this. This is not a just now happened as it's being thrown out to the public. When Herbert Harville was chairman, he did the exact. Stancil Ford, Maudie Briggs, Joe Spoon, Rick Eldridge, Doe Jarvis, Howard Shipley. That's just to name a few. There's a reason behind that, and I gave that reason as we dealt with the beer permit. We need actual experienced leadership. In 2005, there was a huge rollover of commissioners. Ms. Noy was actually on that commission in 2005. And because they didn't know about a rule, now we have this issue we've had to deal with CTAS. If you put people on in leadership positions or just put them on just to be putting them on, you run into these problems. That's why it's always been done this way, and it's always worked really good. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Doty. Commissioner Green?
Let me make a point. Should, God forbid, some of us change the next election, and it could be me, it could be any one of the rest of you. Without the experience, we are in the hole that he is talking about. I, for one, would love to have the experience ahead of time to know a little bit of what to expect. Yes, I've attended meetings for 8 years, but there's still a lot that I would like to learn about. This just gives everyone the opportunity to learn.
For clarification, each and every committee information is available to all. You're available to each and every committee. You're here. You can learn on the job
And can speak at each one.
and speak to each one. Any other discussion on this? Seeing none, let's vote the motion. Item 11, the Rules Review Committee. Excuse me, I'm sorry, what? Did we have a?
You have an amendment on the floor.
My bad. Forgive me. The amendment for number 5. We have a motion and a second by Commissioner Howell. Let's vote this motion to amend on number 5.
Debbie Ahern,
No.
Chris Cutshaw,
No.
Thomas Doty,
No.
Edna Green,
Yes.
Stan Harville,
No.
Bobby Hahn,
Nay.
Jim Porter,
No.
Joe Huntsman,
No.
Peggy Howell,
Yes.
Rodney Long,
No.
Mike Richardson,
No.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Carl Walker.
No.
10 to 3.
And the motion to amend fails. Back to our original motion. We have a motion by Commissioner Hahn, second by Commissioner Long. The items there on item 11, the rules. Any more discussion? Let's vote this motion, please. Hold up. Commissioner Green,
I'd like to amend that motion again, please, sir.
which motion, ma'am?
Number 5, sir. To reflect that appointments to each and all committees, the chair will treat each commissioner fairly and equitably, that no commissioner serves on multiple committees by appointment, while other commissioners only serve on one committee by appointment, sir.
we have a motion on the floor to amend. Do we have a second to that motion?
I'm going to second that.
We have a second. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Howell?
For a commissioner, especially, goodness, we have good commissioners here, to only be appointed to one and some to 3 or 4 others, that can be corrected. And so I think Ms. Green's amendment is in an effort to correct where one individual does not just have one committee. That otherwise, anyway, that's where I feel about that. Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion? Again, that's a elusive statement. Is there any commissioner here only serving on one committee?
I think I'm on, I'm sorry, I spoke out of turn.
What was the question?
Is there any commissioner here not serving on only one committee?
To start with,
Well, all of us serve on some of the committees.
Exactly.
But I serve on one committee.
You serve on more than one, as each and every commissioner here does. Any other discussion? Let's vote this motion, please.
Debbie Ahern,
No.
Chris Cutshaw,
No?
Thomas Doty,
No.
Edna Green,
yes,
Stan Harville,
No.
Bobby Hahn,
Nay.
Tim Horner,
No.
Joe Huntsman,
No.
Peggy Howe,
Yes.
Rodney Long,
No.
Mike Richardson,
No.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Kyle Walker,
No.
10-3.
Motion to amend fails. We will now take up item 11, the rules review, the duties and responsibilities of the chair. We have a motion, we have a second. Let's vote this motion, please.
Yea, 2 nay.
This motion passes. Folks, that concludes our business tonight. There's several items I'd like for you guys, for everyone to take note of. In December, our committee meetings are December 4th. We're moved up 1 week for the Christmas holiday. Our next commission meeting will be December the 14th. The Hamblen County Employee Breakfast, Appreciation Breakfast, Christmas Breakfast will be December the 7th from 6:30 to 9 over at Perk Prater Hall here at the Rose Center. And commissioners, please put in your calendars, December the 12th, 6 p.m., we will have our Christmas County Commission dinner. The parade is on December the 7th. Commissioner Long has arranged accommodations for us to do that. Are all minds clear?
sir,
Yes, ma'am.
could I ask for the December agenda that we request, and I know that we don't have the authority to ask, but the highway superintendent provide a monthly report to the commission beginning in January of '24 with.
Ma'am, you may bring that to us in committee meeting, but see, we have already asked him to do so. We can't compel him. We have asked for these reports, and we're hoping to get something in there for you. Not just you, but for this body. Again, that has been discussed. I don't
Okay.
understand your points when we've already discussed these items and we're trying to work on them.
Well, the next point would be, could we ask the sheriff to provide a report as well each
You'll have
month?
to ask him, okay? Because the sheriff is an elected official, and we can certainly ask him, but we can't
I would-
compel him.
I would appreciate him being asked, because I think that it would give us a better job of knowing what it is and how to handle our business.
Mm-hmm.
If we knew what prison, how many prisoners we had out of state, so forth each month, and I'm sure that it would be easily attainable by him,
Yeah.
sir. But thank you for listening to me,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Poole has provided that report to several on this thing. Ms. Howe has it. There's several of us got it, so
Okay.
there is one.
All minds clear?
Is there a chance I could get a copy of that report then and everybody get it?
You can call Mr. Poole, he can give it to you.
We are adjourned.